Hello everyone, I am Jasmine from Jazz Rose Art and I am back with another video. I'm trying to keep it more comic without necessarily giving away too much about my comic before it's ready. So here I am drawing Hawkeye, aka Jeremy Renner playing Hawkeye for my channel. It's a bit of comics and it's a bit of the movies and it's a bit of Jeremy Renner. So for those that don't know, if you haven't heard, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, a lot has happened. So, Jeremy Renner had gotten into a very bad accident with, I believe it was a snowplow, and he had multiple bones broken when he was trying to get his nephew out of the way. I believe that was what it was. If there's any details mixed up, I'm sorry, but you can look it up for yourself. He went through something absolutely terrible, and I'm not doing this just because that happened. I'm doing this because I've always actually really enjoyed his portrayal of Hawkeye. People always put him down saying he's the most boring. Honestly, I think he has always been like the most level. Everybody loves all of the Avengers, everybody loves the big ones, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk, all that stuff, but what about good old Hawkeye? Hawkeye is an awesome character in and out of the comics. Jeremy Renner himself is an absolute awesome guy. I've liked him in a lot of movies I've seen him in. He always does a really good job. He's a really sweet guy, he's really funny, and he's super talented. He also does music. If you haven't heard it, you definitely need to look it up. He has a song called Main Attraction, and I believe he has more, of course. But he does absolutely awesome work, and I love his music. And in general, I just think he's a really cool guy. Now, back to being on the character of Hawkeye. Hawkeye is a deeply underrated character, in some iterations of the comics, he is deaf, or at least mostly deaf, and he does sign language, which I'm happy that they were able to acknowledge a bit in the Hawkeye show. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. A lot of people didn't watch it, which makes me sad, and it's up to you, I'm not going to argue with you, but I absolutely enjoyed it. I had a really good time watching it. He's kind of like just the tired family man that's like, I've been working this job. I'm too tired to put up with any of this anymore. I just want to sleep. I just want to rest, relax, be left alone for a while. And you know what? I relate to that big time. I really enjoyed drawing this because I practiced more of my anatomy and tried to do things a bit more comic booky. Although I'm not pleased with every single detail, I still think I did something different that I don't always do, that I want to learn to get better at. So this was definitely a good exercise, and that it did come out pretty well, even if it's not perfect. So putting that out there, getting back to Hawkeye. He has always been like the butt of jokes and everything, with people that like the Avengers and everything being like, oh, it's just a guy with a bow and an arrow. And I mean, if you were to say that about other characters, there's like Black Widow, and you're just gonna say, oh, she's just a girl with some tech and she knows how to fight. Anybody can do that. To put that down in their story, down in their character development and everything down, and who they like are as a rounded character, that's not fair. I mean, yeah, if you're not into things that don't have powers, then don't get into their story, but I think they did a really good job of portraying him so far in the Marvel movies. He is awesome in the comics. I really enjoy all the funny stuff he does. The art for his comics is just stunning. I absolutely love it. I love the title. I also love that they have the hand signs for each of the letters, like finger spelling it out, which is awesome. I'm also trying to learn some ASL sign language just to try and broaden my horizons and be a little bit more inclusive. I also think that Hawkeye, throughout like the different things, if you were to talk about the movies, since I'm doing this as Jeremy Renner's iteration, that he did a lot of good work at putting it in. Like, you can see his relationships with the rest of the members, the way he is with Natasha is really cool. Their friendship is so awesome. I love the way that they really pull for each other, even though they're just best friends, they're just platonic because he has a family. Everyone always thought, they might be dating. They weren't, but still, I love the way that he's able to be close with everybody and do all the stuff that he does. Like, he's kind of like the unsung hero, ironically, of the Avengers, because all he does is shoot arrows, but like, for one, he's very skillful at it, but for two, he's kind of like the moral support for everybody, even if he is the butt of the joke. Everybody knows that he's there for them, even when they screw up, even when they do things that, could get them in trouble with the rest of the world. He is always there to help, and that's what I really like about his character. He's also hilarious in his books and and in the movies. I really like any part that he, pretty much when he would joke about having a girlfriend, that was funny. I also love when Tony called him Legolas. I also love the part where he said that he was trying to save the world just by shooting a bow and arrow, and that nobody would know that's the thing that he did to help save it. But still, he only had like a limited supply. He'd go out and still he'd fight for everything he has, and I really like that about him and his character. I'm excited to see where it goes further, even though he might be retiring. I don't know. I hope not, but since they're ushering in the new characters and everything kind of to replace all the originals, which makes me sad, I still think that it'd be fun to hear from him, see from him once in a while. The Rogers musical scene in his show made me laugh pretty hard. I actually really enjoyed the show. I didn't have high expectations of it, only because I didn't know how well all Marvel shows would do, but I actually really enjoyed it, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. As you can see here, I did a lot more cross-hatching this time. I tried a lot more flat shading and trying to add depth with color. I didn't want to overdo it because I'm in the habit of always over shading everything, so I kind of wanted to keep it kind of minimal. So I am still learning to do my craft, but I had a lot of fun doing it. You can see that I kind of just go back and forth and tweak things over and over till I get it the way that I wanted it to be. Also, you're seeing I used a few reference photos just to make sure that I got, the right pose that I wanted, the anatomy, and I got his face and the lighting. I've been really trying to work on anatomy because I don't do full body stuff enough, and I should, considering I'm a comic book artist. So here for the background, I thought I'd just add like a basic crumbling kind of background like the one in the reference picture, but I didn't want to go too far with it. I just wanted it to be more subtle in the background, so I try a few different effects, some blurs, some pixelation, some lighting effects. I just try stuff that's different, and I've been taking the image and flattening it and making it black and blurring it so I have a shadow. I don't recommend this for everything, but when you need to get a shadow done quickly on the ground, it's pretty helpful. Here I'm just trying to add a little bit of texture, a little bit of grit to it, so I add a bit of kind of like little splatters all over it, and I change the different opacities for it and the layers, and then here we go, the finished piece. It's semi-comic accurate and semi not, but thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.